approach. So next up, we have Honeycomb Network, creating the smartest infrastructure necessary for a clean transport future. And for that, please welcome Gabriel.
How did you get here today? I came on my personal electric scooter, and my journey was clean, cheap, and convenient. But I haven't just left it here as a prop. There actually isn't anywhere for me to store or charge it. Private e-scooters are the future of clean urban transport, yet so far, our cities fail to support them. I'm Gabriel, CEO of Honeycomb Network, and we're establishing a network of smart charging locker pods for private e-scooters. Road transport contributes 11% of all global emissions. Private e-scooters are a clean, cheap, and convenient alternative to short car journeys, which make up 70% of all trips. In France, there are already 2.5 million private e-scooter owners, but guess how many places there are to store or charge them? It's 0. Our surveys indicate that most e-scooter owners worry they'll run out of charge on their trips, and 89% are concerned that there'll be no storage at their destination. To solve this, we are establishing a network of universal smart charging e-scooter pods. Through our mobile app, users will be able to access this network across their cities at their local gyms, supermarkets, offices, and mobility hubs. Our universal charging tech and intelligent battery diagnostics enables us to charge any e-scooter, eliminating stress and the need for users to carry their own charger. This universal charging tech also allows us to embed smart charging protocols, which reduce battery degradation, increase battery lifetimes by up to 100%, and thereby reduce lithium battery waste. All of this is packaged into our secure and modular pods, which minimize the space required for storage. E-scooters produce 98% fewer emissions than cars. By enabling this shift towards cleaner modes of transport, the Honeycomb Network could not only slash greenhouse gas and fine particulate matter emissions, but also enable active travel, reduce lithium battery waste, and reduce mobility inequality. Our business model is simple. Honeycomb will own and operate a network of open access sites in high footfall areas like King's Cross Station. E-scooter owners can subscribe and gain access to this network of storage and charging. For private sites and exclusive sites like EDF private offices, they can lease Honeycomb pods as a perk for their employees. We are the first to market, launching in Paris if the 32% of e-scooter users will have expressed willingness to pay sign up. This translates to a revenue potential of £279 million. Since incorporation last year, we've completed an Innovate UK and Office of Zero Emission Vehicles grant project to develop our proof of concept demonstrator, have joined a few accelerators such as the Greenhouse, EIT Urban Mobility, and Geovation, and have closed a pre-seed funding round for £127,000. We've had considerable pilot interest from French parking operators, and by September, we'll have a CE-certified e-scooter pod with patents filed ready for commercial launch. To bring our product from pilot to market, expand and upgrade our team, and continue to carry out R&D, we're currently raising a seed round for £1.25 million. We're a young and passionate team of Imperial College engineers with expertise in battery storage, battery research, and entrepreneurship. Our goal is to decarbonize urban transport, and we're just so excited for what's ahead. So why don't you scoot over and join us? Thank you.
Well done, brilliant pitch. And I think we are being joined, yes we are, by one of your co-workers. Hello.
Hi, so everyone, my name is Will, I'm the CFO and co-founder at Honeycomb, and I'm going to be joining for the questions today.
Fantastic. Okay, so first questions coming in around why you've decided to tackle the French market first and why not your home market.
It's a really good question, and obviously I think it's very pertinent for this crowd. We actually would have loved to, and we intended to tackle London first, mostly because we started this company to solve our own problem, I suppose. Unfortunately, e-scooters are still not legal to own, to ride on public roads. You can't ride your own e-scooter on public roads. This is definitely going to change. We're part of all of the working groups and in contact with DFT and that kind of thing, but it likely won't change for the next year and a half, too. So in the interim, we've decided to go to France, which is a very well-established micromobility market. There's already 2.5 million there, and it's very well accepted, and kind of the culture understands it. So there's huge potential there, and we've decided to launch there first. And then as and when the UK are ready with legislation effectively, we'll be able to quickly and effectively transfer over and set up our network here too.
Okay, if we have any other questions, and I'm not going to be bugged too much by the fly, do businesses have the space for lockers?
Yeah, so another really good question, and I guess it's always dependent on the market segment. So if we split businesses down into kind of our customer profiles, our beachhead is actually car parks. So we're operating in car parks in France towards the end of this year, and they obviously have the space. And because a lot of their incentives are now towards net zero, and for example, in Paris, they're changing all the central zones to car-free zones, so they really have no other option. And there's lots of space for us to utilize there. Other businesses like supermarkets that have attached car parks and or offices that have basement car parks have actually asked us how space efficient our stuff is, and we can fit 8 pods into 1 car parking space. And they're really excited about that because now they can serve 8 people in their offices instead of that 1 individual. So there is definitely space. The question is around exactly how that exchange of whether they're looking for rent for that space in the high footfall areas, or if they're willing to pay us to lease pods like in businesses like in offices in Canary Wharf, for example.
We have another question in which asks, will you be producing the lockers yourselves, or are you partnering with someone else for production?
So we're partnering with a manufacturing partner. We do a lot of the design work in collaboration with them, and at the moment we are in charge of the manufacturing and supply chain of our kind of IP, which is this universal charging board. But in order to scale up quickly, we are partnering with a manufacturing partner that takes care of the majority of the supply chain.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to add to that. So they have experience designing kiosks, electronic kiosks for many different businesses. So that expertise, but also their client base will help us to hopefully expand and deliver very effectively. Yeah.
Okay, another question in around the charges that one pod is able to charge in one day in terms of capacity.
Sorry, these little technical questions. Will's our CFO, and he's very excited to get into any numbers if anyone wants to ask. So it depends on the battery you're charging, as with everything. We can charge any battery, so that would range from like 5 amp hour small batteries to 15 amp hour like huge batteries, and they'll take from 3 hours to 5 hours to charge, depending on also how quickly, effectively, you can put current into those batteries. How many charges can you charge in one day? If people switched e-scooters out straight away once they were charged at 100%, probably 8. Just to answer the question.
Okay, and how much is subscription?
£20, but that will obviously vary based on the term length that the user would like to subscribe for. At the beginning, when we're launching our pilot, obviously there may not be a large enough network to justify a subscription. So what we plan to do is to offer a pay-as-you-go scheme, and that will help us to validate how much we want to charge in the future anyway.
Okay. Do we have time for another question? No, I think that is time. So thank you very much indeed. Well done.
Thanks so much.